Hi, I'm John Scholes, President and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association. Welcome to this episode of Seattle Speaks from Ivors on Seattle's waterfront. I'm here today with the president of Ivors, Bob Donegan. Good to see you,
It's
Bob.
always good to be seen, especially on beautiful days on Seattle's waterfront. You know, it's like this 12 months of the year.
It is. The
75
light
degrees,
breeze, the
nice
blue
breeze.
skies. So we've got our masks and we've got our distance, and we're out on your beautiful deck overlooking Elliott Bay, and you're open. And that's a message we're wanting to bring to the downtown community, the Seattle community, and the region, that there's lots of reopening taking place in our downtown. What are the steps you've taken to do it safely for your team and your guests?
So we're really lucky that we have a really mature crew here, people who've worked for us for 10 and 20 and 30 years. So it wasn't difficult to train them. All the servers have masks and gloves. We sanitize everything. There's a procedure that we use to go through every table. You see, we have no menus. It's all paper menus. Everyone gets shredded after. Or if you'd prefer, you can call it up on a QR code, get the menu on your phone. All of our restaurants get ionized cleaned every few weeks, where we go through and spray everything, and anything that's alive gets killed.
The electrostatic machine, is that?
Correct.
I think I saw that on your website.
Yep.
So you're spraying.
Correct. Corona has not been an issue, and as you look around, you'll see we're not having incidents with customers wearing masks. We yesterday served about 1,100 customers in all of our stores, and only 8 people came without a mask or refused to wear a mask. And as they arrive at the restaurants, we offer them a mask. If they don't want one because they have a health issue or because they won't wear one, we'll take their order, but we ask them to wait outside, and then we'll bring their food to them in their car, or they can eat outside. It hasn't been a problem.
Yeah, we've been compliant as a community, and it seems to be working as we see the numbers in Seattle and King County, as far as number of cases, continue to decline.
Pretty slowly, but steadily decline, that's right.
And the masks are important. You are sort of the unofficial, or maybe the official chief ambassador of the waterfront here in downtown. Share with us what else is open, what are your neighbors, the other attractions seeing as far as customers and their own operations?
So typically, retail and restaurant sales on the waterfront are down about 75% from the same week a year ago. But the restaurants are open. There are more than 20 places where you can dine outside. The Wing Dome, the Frankfurter, Elliott's, all the restaurants on Pier 57, Bob Nelson up at Anthony's, Aqua up on Pier 70, they're all open. The retail stores are open. Seattle Shirt, Simply Seattle, everything is open down here. And the nice thing about coming now, without the 1.2 million cruise passengers, you don't have to wait in line to ride the wheel or to get into the aquarium. It's easy to do stuff right now with that brand new 15-foot wide, light penetrating sidewalk. There's plenty of space to be distanced from everyone. You can go all the way from West Seattle to Ballard without having to cross a street or confront a stoplight. So it's a nice place to walk or bring your kids.
And if you're a local, there's no excuse to stay away. As you noted, there's plenty of ways to get here, and the sidewalks aren't jammed as they normally are in August.
And parking on city streets is 50 cents an hour, so it's real easy to come down here. And if you like watching big trucks and construction, you can go across the street and watch them in year 12 of building the new waterfront park. Only 4 more to go, John.
Let's not forget that big, loud highway that was here last year.
A year ago this week.
Coming down, right? Is gone.
And those 85 decibels of background noise and all the dust and grime, they're not down here this year.
Yeah, and we look forward to that incredible new park and the waterfront. What does that mean for the waterfront businesses here that have, for years, as you noted, endured the construction and the noise and the planning and the delays, and to get closer to that reality?
So you'll remember that when we were struggling with how to finance the park, we hired Candace Damon. Her firm in Brooklyn called HRA Associates has financed and helped plan about 50 parks through North America. And she told us when the park opens, the number of visitors to Seattle's waterfront will double or triple. In 2019, we had 6.7 million people buy something on the waterfront. That implies we'll have 14 to 21 million people who come down to the waterfront park. That will be a boon for everybody if they can survive long enough to get there. And it will, especially if we're able to keep the local family-owned businesses, distinguish the waterfront from all the other waterfronts around the country and the world.
Yeah, you noted, the local ownership and the history and culture here on the waterfront. It really is, so much of Seattle and Seattle's history is rooted here. And then we have that incredible park and investment to look forward to that's going to draw folks from around the world and around the region, certainly.
So this pier and the other ones north of us are in the Landmarks District. They were all open between 1898 and 1902. So you're sitting on something that's been here forever. Oh, you asked about what we're doing that's different. We got some food here.
Look at this.
That's not typical Ivors menu. We've gone live with this.
And it's coming here. I thought it was going somewhere else.
No,
but
this is all for you, John.
Those ribs, yeah. Love it.
So in our interviews with people who live and work downtown, we found out that there were not good fried chicken, there's not good barbecue, and there's a limited supply of fresh sandwiches and soups. So we've added these to our menu. Casey, when do we go live with these?
August 10th and then August 13th.
Smell them?
Oh, I can smell those ribs. They're dominating the selection here, but it all looks good.
It would be especially good to get that barbecue all over your face during this interview.
We'll eat these.
They brought
after.
you a napkin too.
Yeah. Well, thank you. This looks amazing. You're going to have some, right?
It's part of our job. We eat to live.
I want to ask you about your outlook as we sit here in late summer. The summertime for the waterfront's traditionally the time that all these great businesses get into the black. What are you thinking as you look 6 months down the line of where we sit today with the virus, and how do we support businesses in Seattle to ensure they make it through, particularly those that rely on a robust summer season that wasn't?
So it would be really good if we got another round of the CARES Act to provide funding through the winter. The Wall Street Journal called last month and asked me to predict what's going to happen to restaurants in Washington State. And I told it that I thought 1/3 of the restaurants in Washington State that were open in January will not reopen. And of those that do reopen, another 10% will fail within the first year. Mm-hmm. If you're a mom and pop, boutique, nice restaurant that's got 20, 30 seats in it, and you can only seat 20% of them, 25% of them, there's no way you can cover costs. So one thing we need is a financial program to help restaurants get through. And we especially want the moms and pops and local brands to survive because they're what makes Seattle so special.
Yeah. So you took advantage of the PPP.
We did.
Paycheck Protection Program, and
we did. We spent the last of our funds at the last pay period in July. We think that we've fully complied, so the whole thing will be forgiven.
Yeah.
With a vaccine, with the cruises back, with conventions back in town, with the Mariners and Sounders playing, that we can make it. So that's our whole strategy, is conserve cash, and I think that's what everybody else is doing as well.
But you believe you need additional federal support between now and then
we do.
To make it.
And when I look at the other organizations that are really hurt by Corona, city, county, and state governments, nonprofits, civic infrastructure stuff, just pick a single topic. Let's say bridges. We need a new West Seattle bridge, we need a Magnolia bridge, we need the bridge from the Pike Place Market to the waterfront. So we need a civic infrastructure bill as well, and that allows us to keep our construction people working. Interestingly, the sector of the economy that's had the greatest loss in wages with people being laid off is manufacturing and construction. Mm-hmm. They're well-paid people. We need to keep them busy because they spend that money. So yes, we do need another program to make it through.
Yeah.
I think if the vaccine is in place by the spring of next year and we get summer, that will help us. If we don't get that, we're going to see a lot more businesses shutter their doors and put plywood up with beautiful art, but that's not the same as having storefronts where people can go in and shop and eat and have fun.
Or great patios like this that you've welcomed us on today. So thanks, Bob, for sharing your experience here at Ivors in adjusting and reopening and creating a safe environment for customers and your own team. And and welcoming the public back, and thanks for the great food.
For you, anything, John.
And thank you for joining us for this edition of Seattle Speaks. Come on down to Seattle's waterfront, visit Ivors and all the other great retailers, restaurants, and attractions. You can get salmon, of course, at Ivors and chowder, but also great ribs and chicken. Come on down.